guys, and welcome back to my channel. So this video has been a long time coming. I have decided to finally update my styles video for the Letter Like a Lefty series. So I will keep the old video. I will go ahead and link it up here in case you want to check it out. But I figured it was time to actually update it because I did it back in 2017. So what I thought I would do first is, let's take a look. Oops. This is the original styles page or spread that I created for that video back in 2017, and I figured it was time to kind of update it. Now, let's be perfectly honest, my styles have not actually changed much over time. I still do pretty much the same printing, cursive, drop lettering. I don't do the serif very often. I do kind of the same brush lettering like this and the same bouncy lettering. However, it's been, 2.5 years since I did this video, so they do look a little bit different. However, these are really still the same basic styles that I use. So I thought what I would do is I have these up here just so I can remember which styles I'm gonna actually do for you guys. And I decided to come in here. This is my lettering notebook. So it is a Baron Fig Confidant, and I used it back in the day, back in 2018 for a Harry Potter lettering challenge. And I thought I would go ahead and just use it to do an updated styles video. So I will try to do also a second angle so you guys can see my writing a little bit better. And yeah, let's just kind of dive right in. So I've got a couple of pens that I thought I would use. I've got an everyday writer style pen. So this is a 0.28 UNIBALL SIGNO and just a plain black gel pen. This is the type of pen that I tend to use in my bullet journal on a daily basis to write things like tasks, to fill in my tracker, like all of that kind of stuff. So this is a pretty good indicator of what my normal print writing looks like. So I thought I would use that. I've also got a fountain pen. So this is a Pilot Metropolitan. It is a fine point, which to my knowledge is the smallest nib size that you can get with a Pilot Metro. However, because it is a Japanese pen, the fine is actually pretty on par with an extra fine for other brands. And this has, what ink is in here? This has my Pilot IROSHIZUKU fuyu syogun. So it's a gray ink, and I love this pen. I use it a lot. It writes really nicely. And then I have one of my favorite brush lettering pens. So I have just a PENTEL sign pen in black. And you guys will know I do also do some lettering with a Tombow. However, that lettering is much larger. So in order to do kind of the full alphabet, I decided to pick 3 pens that were going to have a more manageable nib size, and were also pens that I do use pretty consistently. So this is what we're gonna go with. And I am basically just going to recreate the styles that I did before, but I will show you at the end kind of a side by side so you can see what 2.5 years of kind of almost daily practice does in terms of improving your lettering skills. So these are my styles kind of updated. So let's go ahead and zoom in and I'll show you these and then I'll give you a side-by-side of the old ones. So first off, I just use a micron in the 08 just to write in this, just because I didn't want to forget when I actually did this, so I just wanted to go ahead and label the page. Then we've got the print version, so that was done with the UNIBALL SIGNO, and this is really just what I use in my normal print writing day to day. You'll notice that even in my lowercase, I do a capital M, N, and R most of the time, not all of the time. I also accidentally messed up my Q. My Q is actually more like that, but yeah, that is basically just my normal print. Then for cursive, I went ahead and I did capital and lowercase. Well, I tried to do capital and lowercase for anything that I actually use capital and lowercase. So this is in the gray fuyu syogun, and yeah, it's hasn't really changed that much. I actually think I took less time doing this than I did in the old version. So let's actually go ahead. So you can see here, this is kind of much neater, and I think I used a micron to do these. Whereas this is really, if I actually do cursive in fountain pen, this is kind of what it looks like. Then I've got my drop lettering. So I used a 03 micron as well as my Pentel sign pen, because these are the two pens I tend to do this style of drop lettering more. So you'll notice compared to my print, I tend to just, this is sort of evenly in the middle, whereas these are, any crossbars are dropped kind of in the lower third of the box, if you imagine that as the space. And I do tend to do it mostly with the Pentel sign pen, but sometimes I'll do it with a micron when I'm writing. And I really only do uppercase with this. I'm trying to think if I ever would really do, I probably have some sort of like a print version. Actually, I do have a print version of the Pentel sign pen that I do. Maybe I'll do that at the very end of the video just so you guys can see, but this is the one I use probably the most. Then I have my, what I call my staid brush lettering. So this is just sort of no extra swoopies, no extra flourishes, just kind of a normal sort of alphabet. So you can see here, I only did lowercase because I very honestly almost never do uppercase cursive letters when I'm lettering. I tend to use this as my uppercase alphabet and this or the bouncy as my lowercase alphabet. And that's just because I really don't care for the look of most uppercase cursive letters in brush lettering. I just don't really like how they look, so I don't do them. And then I've got my bouncy lettering, which I think this is probably the one that, it hasn't changed that much, but I think this is probably the one that I've gotten better at, if you will. So let's go ahead. I'm going to show you a side-by-side. So let's do first page. There we go. So obviously I used a smaller notebook, so I was not able to get as much on one page. But as you can see here, the cursive definitely, I mean, just in general, my writing has gotten smaller with the cursive. And even with this, like this style, I sometimes do it this small, sometimes I do it this small, but like this is the one that I tend to do around this size. So you can see that things haven't changed too much. And honestly, it depends on the day as well. Like some days my writing looks better than others. So let's see, over here, we've got the, the staid. So you see, I just fully dropped off this capital alphabet because most of them are just normal print letters because I don't actually care for the way that they look in cursive. So I tend to honestly just use that. So this, honestly, not too much has changed. I kind of picked a general style and I just kind of go with it because it's, I don't know, I like how it looks, basically. So this, I think this is the one that looks probably the most different, that I've kind of changed how I do some of my flourishes and that sort of thing. So let me go ahead and just do, what was I gonna do? I was gonna do the bigger version of this. So this one is one that I use, this drop is probably one of my most used alphabet styles. And you can really see in a like bigger version of the alphabet exactly how I drop down. So if I'm doing two little boxes tall, then the bottom half of the last box is where I would keep all of my crossbars as much as possible. Sometimes it's not possible. Not forget letters. Like the J, I tend to go up extra high because I just like the look of that better than doing it really low. But yeah, this is just kind of a very simple alphabet, not very fussy, which I like. So with M, N, and W, I do the bars all the way up to the top and bottom rather than doing them kind of shorter. I don't know, that's the style that I've kind of settled on. So this is the updated style chart, I guess, if you will, of the main styles I use when I letter, and sometimes I will play around with other things, but honestly, basically every single thing that I write is some variation of these styles, the one exception being the serif, but I didn't actually do it this time because I really don't do this very often. It's honestly the one that I tend to do for Halloween. And I think this year I even forgot to do, or last year in 2019, I think I even forgot to do it. But these are the base styles that make up every single thing that I letter in some way, shape, or form. So that's what I decided to go ahead and give you guys the update for. So yeah, I hope that that is helpful. I hope that the angle that I was able to film in makes it a little bit more visible, because I think the old version was just an overhead shot. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, let me know. I hope that you find this helpful, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye. Hey guys, so if you've made it all the way to the end of this video and are actually watching my end screen and you're not subscribed to my channel, I would really appreciate it if you would. There's a little button right there for you to do it. And if you're interested in watching some more of my videos, I have links to 2 of my older videos off to the left there, so you can check those out if you would like to, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!